I can't believe I have to re-record this, bro. I'm gonna try and make this a bit shorter because I stuttered a lot, and then I realized I had a goofy ass filter on my mic, so I sounded horrible. The audio didn't come through, so I'll put it. I had a BitCrush filter on because I was messing around with VS2 plugins, VST2 plugins. But I'm finally gonna make this video, right? Opening up so y'all get to know about me, Isaac, instead of Raccoon Revenant, because I'm much different. I guess I'm gonna start the same place I started before. My first relationship, which was horrible. Like, I don't really even consider it a relationship because of how long it lasted, which was a week. But I think this might have low-key made me a little bit sexist. Not saying I hate women, but this probably skewed my vision of them, and I can see that, honestly. I do think that happened. I love women, okay? I have no problems with women. Love women. Love, okay, not like that, in a platonic way. I love my audience, okay? Love the women in my audience. Shout out Smiley's mom, Smiley's sister, Smiley's friend. I think Pumpkins and Cece are a girl as well. Maybe. I don't know. Love y'all, platonically, okay? But this relationship was horrible. She was toxic. She was manipulative. She was gaslighting. You know what. But my day was already not going too great. I'd like to think I was a good boyfriend. You know, constantly texted good morning when I woke up, good night when I went to bed. You know, sent I love you about 3 times whenever I'd go to work. Just, let her know, right? I was that kind of boyfriend. I don't know if maybe that's too much, but I was my first ever that was my first ever relationship, right? I was 16. I didn't really know what I was doing. But this woman made me feel horrible. It took 3 days and for her to start showing her true colors, right? She gaslighted the fuck out of me. Didn't really work because I knew she was gaslighting, but still knowing she tried fucked me up. I had like one of the times that she got fucking mad at me, I'd gone on a walk with my brother and talked about, relationship stuff because they're adults. I wasn't at the time, right? I am now, but I wasn't at the time. I just wanted to know if I was doing something wrong. And pretty much I wasn't. Okay. I was just existing. I had let this woman know prior. I'd let this girl know that I don't talk very much because I don't use social media. But she would get mad at me, but then wouldn't bring it up to me. She would bring it up to her friend. And then her friend would tell me. And then I'd ask her, why can't you just bring this up to me? And she was all, because I'm not good at starting conversations, when she was very good at starting conversations with her friend. Blah, 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 whatever. But this was the peak of it, and it just did not get better at all. I was at work, right? Okay, she was being horrible. My managers were being horrible. Coworkers weren't helping when my managers were being horrible. And the customers were being absolutely disgusting to me. I just thought, wow, this really isn't getting any better. Is this just how it's going to be for me? And that's when I attempted. I saw a large truck coming. It was like the size of a FedEx truck. And I started walking. I got about like a foot away from it when my coworker called my name. And I don't know why, everything else was completely fucking mute. I could not hear anything but ringing. But for some reason, when she called my name, I heard my mom. And it just snapped me right out of it. And like stopped dead in my tracks and like just watched the truck pass by right in fucking front of me, like a foot away from me. But, after that, I went in, I helped her with what went on. Day continued as the usual work day at Publix. Shit. But after that, when I clocked out, the whole rest of the day, when I was at work before I clocked out, I was thinking about my friend in tears sent me a picture saying, "Isaac, you deserve happiness." And that is still kind of stuck with me because I had helped her through a little bit of breakup. It was pretty bad, but I helped her through it, right? Because I was being a good friend, and I think this is probably also some of my problems. But I like helping people too much, but I can't help myself. But I was thinking about that constantly. The whole time I was at work, even after I went back out for lot service, my dog is howling. But while I was working, I was just thinking of that the whole day, and I was like, fuck, I'm not happy. I don't deserve this. And then I clocked out. I went to go get myself a sub because I was fucking hungry. I hadn't eaten the whole day, and it was like 4 o'clock, right? 4 or 5, somewhere. Like, I think it was 6, actually. But I got a meal, and while they were prepping it, the 2 girls at the front looked at me. Two nice old ladies. They were very, very sweet old ladies. They looked at me. They could tell something went wrong. They're like, "What's going on? You don't look well." I told them exactly what happened. Not that part. Okay, I wasn't gonna dump that on them. But I told them I was having relationship problems. They were like, "Isaac, you're 16. You're already having relationship problems." It's like, yeah, I know. But they had told me, "Look, if this is hurting you this bad, break it off. You don't need this right now. You're young. You still have a year left before you're 18. Live those years." Which is ironic, but before as well, like a couple days before, the same friend that said I deserved happiness was like, "If this is hurting you, break it off. You don't need this." And then when I got in the car, my parents also noticed I did not look well. Oh my fucking god! Hold up, my phone's pissing me off. But all that was going down right, and they just like, break it off. It's been a week, and she's a bitch. Break it off. So it's like, fuck it. I don't even care. It didn't even hurt. Okay, I felt nothing except guilty. I didn't listen to my brothers. But I texted my brother that, hey, that didn't work out. And I just got the text of, "I'll be there." Because he thought I was like in shambles. I got in the car. I was fine, right? Not a single drop of, "Oh man, I'm single again," was it me, bro. I was fine. But like, he was under the impression I was fucking broken, right? Because I was technically first breakup. But something funny that happened was in the car. When we were talking, his wife looked at me. She was like, "Isaac, you did the mature thing. You broke that off really well." And I was like, I just made the joke of, "God damn, I don't know how to start it, but I know how to end it." She was like, "Oh, damn." That shit had me die. That shit was so funny. She probably thought it was sad, but I thought that shit was funny. But uh, before that, before all of this happened, because that was like, fuck, when was that? I don't know, but it was like in the same month that this happened. But 2024 overall was a horrible year for me. June 9th, I believe, was a really, really, I was having a great day, right? And knowing me, something was going to go wrong, because that's how life works for me. If something goes right, something goes horribly wrong. And I was having a great day, right? Managers, I think the managers were actually gone, and my team lead was acting manager. So, and she's awesome. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was actually a helpful manager, and my managers weren't. But my coworkers being awesome, I got to work with all my favorite ones. Um, Customers being stupid to me. June 9th, 2024 was fucking rough. I think my brother's here. God damn it. Oh well. But yeah, day went really well. All of it was going super great. And then around like 8 o'clock or so, 8 or 7, I I got out of the shower, got out of the bathroom, and I saw my parents rushing down the hall. Like, they were fucking rushing. I was like, uh-oh, this can't be good. In the back of my head, I knew something was going wrong, but I didn't know how bad. And then, I asked, hey, what's going on? And they said, well, we don't know. This pissed me off, and I'll get to that. All right, so they left. Me and my brother had no idea what was happening. We were both, I think, matching levels of anxious, because they were fucking rushing. We thought, we both were thinking, oh shit, what happened? He asked me what happened. I didn't know, so I didn't bother asking him. And then I used the bathroom, and when I came out, my cousin was over, and they were all talking in the kitchen, and they mentioned my brother's name. And I was like, what happened with him? And that's when I got the news that my brother had attempted suicide. And that was like the first time in my life I had ever just felt empty. Like, I had no idea how to react. Like, I didn't cry about it for days. Like, I think it was a straight week. And then he called my mom from the hospital, and he wanted to talk to all of us. He talked to my brother, he talked to my mom, and then he got to me. And I heard his voice, and he was like, I'll be out soon, Isaac, I love you. And, I said, love you too. After I gave the phone back to my brother so he could give it back to my mom, I was like I was in an Xbox party with my nephews, and I just quickly muted because I thought I was just gonna break down right there. But nope, nothing came out but just a waterfall from my eyes, right? There was like a puddle in my lap, pretty much. Because, like, that was just. Nothing ever got to me as much as that did. But that got to me. That really fucking got to me. But the next part about this is connected to two different things about me. As I had horrible, horrible insomnia. To a certain extent, I still kind of have it, but I also have self-hatred. And this is where this next part, this is why I said it's connected to two things. Think August 27th, I think. My brother drove me down to different city so we could hang out with our friends, right? They went super well. Most fun I had because he came back from the Navy, I believe. Yeah, I think he came back from the Navy, and we wanted to hang out, so we hung out. It was all fun, shit, right? I think that's also when uh I had a different girlfriend, which this one was nice. Okay, this one was awesome, but we had differences. No bad blood. We just went our separate ways, right? Uh, I think we realized being friends was better. So yeah, but we were on the way back home. It was nighttime, and my brother got out to get some gas. I checked my phone. I saw I had a FaceTime notification. I was like, what the fuck? Nobody FaceTimes me. I checked the notification and I saw it was from my brother who attempted. And I saw the date of the notification was the night that he attempted. And again, it hit me. Just straight emptiness. Couldn't hear anything. Everything but my phone went fucking blurry. And I just thought, oh fuck. I could have missed the last time my brother ever talked to me. Because I went to sleep. If he had went through and he succeeded and I missed that call, like that that hurt in so many levels. Like I don't think I've ever been that hurt. And then, after all that happened, it was just I lost family member after family member after family member, and I thought 2024 was just punishment. But I didn't know what I did to deserve that punishment. So yeah, 2024 was worst year ever for me. 2025 was a little bit better because nothing really went horribly wrong. And, I started making music and making videos, right? Excuse me. But the insomnia was in part really caused because of that. It was less of a I can't sleep, but more of a I'm afraid to sleep because I thought I was going to miss that. I thought if I sleep again, what if I miss something like that? I blamed myself fully for that. I thought because I missed that, I could have saved my brother if I just picked up the phone. If I just didn't go to sleep, I could have helped. I broke down in the car with my mom because we were on the way back from our nephew's house. And I don't know why it hit me when it did, but we were in a drive-thru at a Hardee's. So she just quickly drove out of the drive-thru because I was bawling in the back seat. And she got out and she asked what happened. I told her, and she was like, this wasn't your fault. You couldn't have stopped that. It was not you at all. Doesn't matter if you missed the phone call. He was going to do it either ways. And that both helped but didn't at all. Because then I just felt powerless. Like no matter what I did, he was going to try. But Uh, the self-hatred also came from that, because I hated myself for not picking up the phone. I hated myself for falling asleep. It was just rough, man. Also, my brother's home, so I need to wrap this up. Like, I'm alone. I don't have much free time with friends. Obviously no girlfriends, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all matter. Okay. World wouldn't be the same without y'all. Don't do anything permanent. Okay. Doesn't matter how hard it might be. Don't do it. That's never the solution. Thank you.